Hello everybody, welcome to In My Mug, episode 335. I'm not doing 335 in here with people looking at me. On Monday the 13th of April 2015, I am your host Stephen Layton. Welcome to In My Mug and welcome to the news. I actually don't really have a great deal of news. As you can see, I'm not in the normal studio. I'm in Seattle. It's my Seattle top. I haven't given up on Sunderland, trust me I haven't, although I should do. No, I'm here in Seattle at the World Barista Championships where we've got 50 baristas competing to find the best barista in the world. And the reason I'm doing it here is this week they also have a brew bar, and on the brew bar behind me they're brewing coffee from roasters all over the world, and has been actually in my mug are one of the sponsors of the brew bar. And the coffee that you're having this week is also on the brew bar for all of the coffee professionals from all around the world to be drinking and enjoying along with you guys at home. So I thought it was a pretty good way to do it. So there is no news, I'm afraid. You're just going to have to put up with me. I'm also not going to do Focus On because I don't feel very well prepared for Focus On, but we're just going to go straight into the coffee. So this week's coffee comes from Colombia, as I've already said. It's called La Chorrera, comes from the Huila region, near to the town of Pitalito, which is somewhere I've visited a couple of times now. And somebody who I've visited those a couple of times is this guy called Pedro Claros. Pedro and his family, I think he has 7 children, and his wife Maria work on so their house is at the bottom of this hill, and their farm is up on the hill. It is the most beautiful place you've ever seen. It really is absolutely drop dead gorgeous. They grow Caturra, a little bit of Colombia, and a little bit of Catimor. We only see the Caturra. Caturra is the coffee that is most traditional in Colombia. But you're starting to see more and more of these Colombia lots, which is a Catimor derivative, because they had a huge problem with leaf rust around about 5-6 years ago. And a lot of the advice from the FNC was to rip out all of those plants and start planting these rust-resistant varieties, but tend to not be as tasty and not delicious. There are exceptions to that, and we found some amazing Colombias. But I'm always very excited when I find a Caturra that's still being grown there, because Caturras are where the delicious coffees come from, for me, in Colombia. We've worked a little bit differently with Pedro this year, so what he's done is every single day he separates his pickings. He keeps them separate, he processes them, he mills them separately, and then sends us a sample. And we cup the sample and we go, this is a good coffee, this is not a good coffee. Because every farm produces a different amount of good and bad coffee. You don't just have a specialty farm, and you don't just have a commodity farm. Every farm has the capability of producing amazing coffee, and every farm has the capability of producing absolutely awful coffee. So we've been cupping every single day's samples and then categorising them in a lot, putting them in lots. So we've got a couple of lots that are super special, really, really amazing, like 100 kilo lots, 120 kilo lots. And then we've got some that were 86 or less that we were rejecting. So 86 points and less, we were saying, no, sell those into the commodity market, get what you can for those. But to do that, we will pay a lot more for your other lot. So if it scored 88 to 90, we paid a certain price. And for those special micro kind of tiny lots, we paid a huge price. We've also made a commitment with Pedro and his family to buy all of the coffee from the farm that is above that. We've signed a contract and agreed to pay these really high prices. It's been working really well so far, but we've also been learning lots. So as we've been cupping them, we're feeding back to Pedro, we like this lot because, we didn't like this lot because of this. And then he's going to his diary and looking through and saying, well, what did we do differently on that day? What was the thing that made it, be tasty and delicious, as opposed to the other ones that didn't work out and were not as great on the farm? It's a great feedback loop. It's a great learning experience for me, and it's a good experience for Pedro because he can get more money for his coffee. Right, we should go and do the funky and amazing
roastery. I'm in America. What am I doing here? No, it's wrong. Oh, well, I'll just have to pretend. We'll go across the Atlantic, which I'm already across. But instead of going to North America, which is where I am, not in the roastery, we'll go to South America. It's just South America. It borders Panama, Venezuela, a little bit of Brazil, and a little bit of Ecuador as well. So it really is a country of many, many borders. But we're going to go down, and we can see Bogota there in the centre. That's the capital. One of the highest capitals, apart from... Yeah, no, actually one of the highest capitals in the world. But according to the World's Happiest Index, Colombia is considered the happiest country in the world, unless you're being shot at by people from the FARC. No, it's a very happy country. It's actually an amazing country. Somewhere that's got so much safer in the past 10 years. 10 years ago, you would not have dreamt of going to Pitalito, where we're going down to now. Not even on a map bit, but it's a much safer country now. So we're going down here to Pedro's farm, La Chorrera, and we're on the mountainside. I am so annoyed that it was cloudy on this day when Google Earth went over, because it is gorgeous. So here, we'll make up for it with a beautiful photo. So the lowest point is the Pacific Ocean, and the highest is the Pico Cristobal Colon, which is 5,775 metres. And it is a country of beautiful mountains. It is a country of beautiful views everywhere you look. So we'll just whiz around there. So there we've got the nearest town, and just to the left of it we've got Pitalito, and lots of farmers that we buy from there. But yeah, there we've got Pedro, and there we've got the drying tables, which that one is at the top of the farm, the bigger picture. If you look at the picture to the right, that is of Pedro's house, where he has the drying patios on the roof. And that was the map bit. Let's go back to America.
I'm so devastated that on that day it was a little bit cloudy on the farm, because it is a beautiful farm. It really is. Some of the views from there are just phenomenal. They really are good. Right, I'm going to whap you on pause. I'm going to get guys on brew bars to make tasty and delicious coffee. I'll be back with you in just a second. Okay, so I'm back, and I've actually brought my own mug this time. It's from Alejandro from Finca, Argentina. He's here, and he's brought me a mug because he likes to buy me things, and this is his present to me, which is very, very cool. But it leads me very nicely on to actually something I wanted to announce to you guys. Next week you're going to see go on the site some lip balm. I know it's a weird thing for a coffee company to sell, but it's a lip balm that's made with Alejandro's coffee. So we've had these made up. It's got a picture of his face on the side, and it's all very cool. And £1 from every one sold is going to go to Alejandro. Not that he wants any charity, but actually what happens is that he's never been able to use the pulp as fertiliser on the farms, because the mill is around about 15-20 miles away to the farm, and he wants to put what he takes out the soil back into the soil. So we worked out that it was going to cost around about £1,000 to move all of the pulp back up to the farm if we do it every day. So I thought, instead of me paying for it, or instead of Ali paying for it, you can pay for it by buying these amazing single origin lip balms with his coffee in. So please do buy them. We're underwriting it even if you don't, because I'm making sure that he does it, but I prefer you guys to pay for it than me pay for it, because I'm first very poor, but two, I think it just makes a bigger statement back to a producer that you guys did it than I did it. It's too easy for me to do, and it's a little bit harder for you guys to do. So lip balms will be on the site next week. Go buy them, and I'll talk about them on In My Mug next week as well, and send you links and stuff. But it was a nice little link in. So we should go into the cup. So it's cooled a little, because I've had to go down there and get it, and got talking to people on the way back, as you do. But as it's cooled, it's actually opened up those flavours much more. So what I find on the front end is you get a real like black tea like flavour. Then you're thinking, why do you want your coffee to taste like tea? You don't. But this is a really interesting black tea. On the background though, there's this lovely, can't even talk, fresh green apple. And this green apple is amazing. It's really, really tasty, really delicious. Sharp but clean, but interacts really well with that black tea undertone in it. I think it's amazing. I think Pedro and his family do an amazing job on the farm, and we're super, super lucky to be working with them. And we're super lucky that we can share this one with you. So I hope that you enjoy it. I think I'm done. So I think all that's left to say is, in Seattle, life is definitely too short for bad coffee. Oh, before do that though, I should give you a little tour around, shouldn't I? So there's the brew bar down there, see people. And then over there is the main WBC stage. Still in the shots. WBC stage where they've been doing all of this stuff. So, yeah, well, that's dazzling, isn't it? So, thank you very much for joining me, as always. And do remember, life is definitely too short for bad coffee and bad camera angles. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.